so I went with South Pacific in race 2 at Flemington.
And will outstay them. South Pacific a deserved win. Saunter Boy second, Smokin' Piero third.
10 units to win on Express Pass.
Deer and Express Pass is finishing hard now. Express Pass over the top. Will get up. Express Pass has won from Zorro Street.
If it wins on the weekend, it goes up to my favourite horse of all time, Dice Roll.
Ruby Saki, Dice Roll going home better. Dice Roll. 3/4 Ruby Saki Odeon.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Raceday preview. We're going to Caulfield for this one. We're ready to tip some winners just like we did last week at Flemington. Unfortunately there's no crowds back at Caulfield this weekend. We were planning on going, but that's obviously gone out the window now, so I have to watch from my home. But let's get straight on and tip some winners. Race 1 is a 2-year-old handicap over the 1100 metres, and the $2 favourite is Jigsaw. The fast 2-year-old that ran in the Blue Diamond last start is resuming in this race. As we take a look at the speed map, I reckon it's an advantage to be on speed in this race. Like Jigsaw and Darth Sandermill should go to the front. Ton of Grit should get a nice run from gate 2. Vivienne will need to slot in from that wide gate. I think it's an advantage to be on speed. Sharp Response and VNLO, two very good chances. Will be getting back, conceding ground, but it is only a small field. This is a recent jump out of Jigsaw ahead of its first up assignment. I really like this bit of work. Draws gate 6. I've already said it's got a class edge with running in the Blue Diamond last start. Mark Zara goes on. He's in good riding form. Has drawn inside Darth Sandermill, who's the other speed influence. Jamie Carr will need to sit outside it, so probably won't trap it. And I think it'll get an easy run. I think it's got a class edge on all of these runners. There's no Artorias or Enthar in this race. I reckon it's got the good hopes here. Vivienne, if it slots in, I reckon it's a very good chance for Damien Lane. Second, Sharp Response ran really well last start, winning its maiden in a field of a lot of quality. VNLO's coming down from Sydney. Gate 1 isn't ideal, but Jigsaw will kick us off in race 1 with a win if everything goes to plan. Race 2 is a 3-year-old fillies handicap over the 1200 metres, and Veren Scover is the $3.50 favourite. Bubbly Lass is at $4.80 as well, both jumping from wide gates. As you can see on the speed map, probably going to be a moderate speed. I reckon Amanatu and Diamonds get the run of the race, probably Amanatu more. Bubbly Lass and Veren Scover will be conceding ground, and from that wide gate will have to get right back to the end and conceding a lot of ground, which could play as a major factor. This is a last start effort of Diamonds, and this was its recent run at Sandown, where it ran third, beating a length to Comica. Started $17 on this occasion. This was 1300 metres, probably died on its run late, so the step back to the 1200 metres suits it here. Gate 10, I think it should get a nice run if it gets across. And yeah, I think it's a proven performer on the soft track, and I think it's a juicy price at around that $11 mark. It's always thereabouts, and I think it's the one to beat. Amanatu as well. Gate 1 will get the run of the race. It's just been missing the start lately, and if it does, it won't win. Chosen Blonde should go forward from gate 6 with Damien Oliver on, and Bubbly Lass will be getting back but running on hard. 8 units each way on Diamonds. It could win if it gets the right run, but if it doesn't, it'll just drop out. Race 3 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres, and Malkovich is the $2.80 favourite ahead of All of Brighton at $5. And those are the top 2 chances in the market. The speed map says it's going to be hard run. Esther LaRocca and Malkovich has set the early speed. Rattle and Bang will show some speed. Forever Free and Peggy Celine, in my opinion, get the best runs in the race. Zooshine should dig up the inside for some ground. Dick and Metal slot in well, and All of Brighton should be back near the tail end running on. This is a last start effort of Malkovich up in Sydney. This was a 1,000 metre race, so it was dying on its run late, but just held on. Had to do some early work. Actually carried 60.5 on this occasion. Carried 61 on the weekend, so it's a proven weight performer. Beat some very smart horses in a Hulk and a couple of others here as well. I don't know why Bjorn Baker is bringing it over to Melbourne, but it must be for a good reason. Damien Lane steps on. I think it's the one to beat Malkovich. Peggy Celine's my best value of the day. Only gets 51 kilos. That's pretty good. Loves the 1,000 metres. Loves the soft track. I think it can run well. All of Brighton will be spotting him a start, but has been running well lately. And Esther La Rocca always runs well no matter what. Malkovich, 15 units the win, and Peggy Celine, 7.5 units each way. A collect in race 3 would be nice. Race 4 is a benchmark 78 over the 1,600 metres. Thought of that and Falls were both at $4.20 with Over the Sky at $7. And the favourite down there at $3.50 is Chief Altoni. The speed map says they're going to go pretty hard. I think Falls will show some speed. J-Rod 2 will be up there with Jittery Jack. Ballet Master will kick up. Relucent and Chief Altoni both get really, really good runs. The horses getting back in the field are Over the Sky and Petruchio, just like race 2. Some very good market influences getting back. Chief Altoni is the last start effort we're having a look at. And it sort of got held up. Was probably unlucky not to run a place. Probably nearly should have won if it had clear air earlier. This was at 1,400 metres, so the step up to 1,600 metres will be no problem. Getting back onto a wet track will be no problem either. Gate 10 drawn for a good run, and Damien Oliver goes on, so a lot of ticks there. The only big thing is that it's the 5th emergency, so it's not even in the field yet. Probably won't get in the field, but hopefully it does. And if it doesn't, Relucent's my tip. Proven performer, gets a good run, so it's a good horse. Thought of that. Gets Jamie Carr on, so she'll make the right decision. And King's Full at a big price can run really well. I think it's about 90 to 1 now, so I think it can run well. But Chief Altoni can hopefully get a run. Race 5 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,440 metres, and the $1.95 favourite is I'm Thunderstruck. Jumping from gate 5, Mark Zara goes on. The speed map says Japery from that outside gate should push up to be the leader. Zutelis and Kermie could kick up inside it though. I'm Thunderstruck and Imperial Hilton will just get really, really, really good runs. And O'Shauday should probably get a good run as well from gate number 7. This is the last start effort of I'm Thunderstruck. It struck a really wet track here, and it won really, really well with Mark Zara on board. It had already shown ability in its first preparation, but to do this in its second preparation gives us a lot of confidence to back it going forward, and it's odds on in this field. Loves a wet track, gets a good run. Mark Zara sticks with it. All the ticks say that it should win, and I think it will win. I'm Thunderstruck, $1.95, it's on top for me. Imperial Hilton won really well last start in Adelaide, and will go well. O'Shauday should get a really good run. Will Price goes on, 54.5 kilos, and Japery should go forward and give him something to catch. Thunderstruck has got a lot of ability, and hopefully we can see some of that ability at Caulfield. Race 6 is a benchmark 84 for the fillies and mares over the 1,100 metres. An absolute flirt is the $3.90 favourite, head of Plaquette at $4.40. Nothing much else over the page. Should be some pretty good speed on. Fast and Deep, Ladies of London, right enough, all show speed, with potentially Heavenly Bridges kicking up inside it. Score should get a good run with Button Express. I think the Closer should get a good run. Chassis will be stuck on the inside. Plaquette and Pinion will have to come from the back as well. Now, this is a last start replay of the Closer. This was its first up attempt, and it was a really, really poor run. But this was its first up run. I think second up will be fitter. Absolutely loves Caulfield. Gate 1, I think, can get a good run in between horses. Drops back in grade. Loves the 1,100 metres. This run doesn't look too good, but trust me, getting back to Caulfield I think is pretty good, and it's about $19, so I'm happy for the Closer. Button Express is jumping from gate 9, gets 52.5 kilos and should be going well. Pinion will be running on from the back, but just how far back will it be from gate 13, I don't know. And Plaquette won well last start, will get cover this start, so should go well. Chassis in the race, it's been kind to me, but I just think from gate 2 we'll get too far back in this race. But I'm with the Closer at $19. Race 7 is an open handicap over the 2,000 metres, and joint favourites are Bedford and 5th position, both in pretty good form going forward to this race. The speed map, no effort should lead. I think 5th position gets a really good run. Also, Bedford will be getting right back. Mahamadeus will have to look to slot in as well. But back to 5th position, I reckon he gets the run of the race here. And the other favourite, Bedford, will have to get back and run on. This is the last start effort of No Effort and Bedford. I thought Bedford did a good job against the bias to run really, really well. And No Effort had the bias and the lightweight in favour. So on the weekend, I reckon Bedford will turn the tables on No Effort after this run. And I think Bedford's the winner on the weekend. Gate 6, loves the soft track, loves the 2,000 metres. Is 4th up now, so it'll be really fit. Loves Caulfield. All the favours go its way. And I reckon 20 units the win on it is pretty good. Solsamore scratch, so forget about that. 5th position, gets the run of the race. It just hasn't shown enough ability in its 2 Australian starts for me to put it on top. No Effort, ran well last start. We just saw a replay of it, so it'll go well. But Bedford, 20 it's the win. It's on top for me. I think it'll win race 7 at Caulfield. Race 8 is a benchmark 84 over the 1,400 metres, and Corner Pocket is the $2.80 favourite ahead of Jumbo Wazaki at $6.50 and Left Hand Man's at $9 over there. We are taking a look at a last start effort of Left Hand Man. This was in the same race as Chief Altony, and Left Hand Man finished 2nd. I thought it was a pretty good run. It'll be peak fitness now. It's 5th up. Will Price goes on, drops to 55.5 kilos. Gate 6 gets the run of the race. Loves the wet track. The only thing about it is that it's the 3rd emergency, so it might not get a run either. And if it doesn't, that'll be really bad. But see what happens. 10 units the win on Left Hand Man, just in case it does run. Corner Pocket will be my tip if it gets scratched. Loves the wet track. Has won 5 in a row. Declan Bates, Gate 8. Can win. Mr. Tippler won that race that we just looked at, so it's got to be a chance. And Fundraiser doesn't really go well on the wet track, but if it's not as wet as what it is, then it might have a chance. But Left Hand Man is a good price in my opinion. Race 9 is a benchmark 84 over the 1,200 metres, and on this page, Pintoff from a wide gate is at $6, and the Gouch, what a horse, $3.10. We take a look at the speed map. Pintoff from that wide gate should come across and use some early speed. Whip Crack Away will probably go to the lead. The Gouch gets the run of the race. Simply Optimistic should get a nice run as well. Separate and Rubon Blur should also get good runs. Bumper Blast riding the wave. Exolita will all be getting back in the field, which might not suit it. This is the last start effort of Pintoff and the Gouch at Caulfield. They both finished side by side, and the Gouch just won. I reckon the Gouch can win again though. This was its first up effort, so second up will be fitter. Pintoff, it's already fit, so the Gouch will have more upside. Has Matthew Cartwright on, drops down to 54.5 kilos on the weekend, the Gouch. It sets up perfectly. I've already said it'll get the run of the race, and 22 units the win on it. Should play out pretty well, I think, at the last race. Pintoff ran well there. Simply Optimistic gets a good run, has a class edge on most of these, and Whip Crack Away goes to the front and gives them all something to chase. But I reckon the Gouch is the way to finish off the day at Caulfield. Gate 6, ideal run, Matthew Cartwright, Mara and Eustace. Nothing should go wrong here for the Gouch and my day.